This is Dolany TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel. And yes, sir, we have our first official free agent signing. Of course, you probably would have already known about this last night. However, I'm not about to jump the gun and make a mistake like that, betting on something that might not be 100% true quite yet. And now, like I said, it's official. Mike Smith will be that 1B, more like a backup in my mind, to Mikko Koskinen this, upcoming season. So let's get right to it. The stats, I'll pull that graphic up for you right there. That's his stats since 2011-2012. Of course, we all know exactly what ends up going on there in terms of who he had as a coach for those years in Phoenix and Arizona. So don't be judging yourself too quickly. You know who the coach was, and you know who the coach is now in Edmonton, that man being Dave Tippett. It's a 1-year, $2 million contract for Mike Smith. Not a tough pill to swallow if you're the Edmonton Oilers by any means, realistically, and one that makes a decent amount of sense. I mean, if you would have went and spent more than $2 million on Mike Smith, I think you would have had one heck of a situation on your hands for the Edmonton Oilers, because you look at it that way, right? Mike Smith, the details, what I'm trying to get to, where's my tabs? I've got a million tabs open, so forgive me if I missed something early on. There we go, 37 years old. He'll be 38 by March 22nd of this upcoming hockey season, so that's going to be interesting to see how we end up doing with him. Originally a 5th round draft pick of Dallas way back when in the 2001 NHL entry draft. Mike Smith stands 6'5", 220. So again, another beast of goaltender in net for the Edmonton Oilers. You've already got Mikko Koskinen. Guys, I don't need to tell you how big Mikko Koskinen is. You've seen it for how many ever games this past year. So Mike Smith, what's the lowdown? You guys see that schedule there. However, he's pretty much didn't play more than 40 games in his NHL career until the age of 26 with the Tampa Bay Lightning, in which he went 14, 18, 9 and had a 916, 262 split. So not too bad for Mike Smith. Then you jump ahead to the Arizona Coyotes, Phoenix Coyotes days, and that's when we really got to know who Mike Smith was, right? That's the big breakout that he had. 67 games started in 2011-2012, 38 wins, 18 losses, 10 in overtime or a shootout. Like, he was putting up damn near Cam Talbot numbers that year when you talk about 16-17 for Cam Talbot. And you look at the goals against, 221 and a 930 save percentage. Guys, that was the year of Mr. Mike Smith. He finished 4th in Vezina voting. How you don't win the Vezina with that numbers, I can't even remember who won it that year, but you know where I'm going with that. Those are insane numbers. However, ever since, he has not come anywhere close to that, as you can see in the chart below, is the fact that, the next year, 910, 258, 915, 268, 904, 316, 916, 264, a bounce back year for him then in 15-16, 32 wins, 15 losses, 13 in overtime or a shootout. Then the next year, 15-13 and 2 with a 9-16. Was that actually? Hold on, that was actually the year I'm talking about. Sorry, I can't even read my own math today. And then 292, 265, 272 goals against average for the past 3 years. Those past 2 years being in Calgary. The problem, the scary math number for us as Edmonton Oilers fans, is the fact that yes, he had a below 900 save percentage, and as it's been rumored, I believe Cam Talbot as of now is still going to the Calgary Flames. So yes, you could have 1-for-1 swapped him at the deadline, but obviously we need to do some salary dump maneuvers to get Sekera back, and that's exactly what happened. Now Sekera's bought out. Holy crap, don't get me started. It is a long journey we've been on at this point. It's July 1st, and guys, if you haven't caught the chart I tweeted out, it's just a mess of who we've signed as UFA free agents. At least this one, $2 million. I mean, it's a Toby Reeder gamble, and I don't think you're going to get burnt back-to-back years. I hope to goodness you don't get burnt back-to-back years on a Toby Reeder gamble for $2 million, guys. So seriously, if the Oilers do that, that really really 100% sucks, because you look at it this way. You spent $2 million on Toby Reeder just to pretty much blame him for all the failure and kick him out the door as soon as you possibly could. And now you bring in Mike Smith, a 37, soon to be 38-year-old goalie, before you make the playoffs, if you make the playoffs this year if you're the Oilers. And you sit here and you think, oh man, okay, guy had some terrible numbers to end last year, 898, 272. Well, had 23 wins, 16 losses, 2 overtime or a shootout loss. That is not the numbers I like to see there, but is it going to be possible, right? A 500 goalie or better this year, below average numbers. The defense is the major question for the Oilers. This is exactly what I've been kind of preaching to a lot of you guys in the comments, is the fact that the Oilers defense isn't as bad as we try to make it seem based on paper. It is bad, don't get me wrong. That's the thing I don't argue. It is bad. It could always be better. It's the defense in Edmonton. It could be better ever since 05-06. Guys, even in 05-06, it could have been better if we didn't have Marc-Andre Bergeron on the team. We would have had a Stanley Cup in tow. Let's not kid ourselves, okay? That's the terrible part about the Oilers over the past 13, 14, 15, 16 years, whatever. I mean, I go back. I haven't watched the Oilers prior to 05-06, so don't get me going there. But it's a headache. It's an absolute headache. But this defense on paper, if they A, stay healthy, B, can produce offensive numbers and play smart defense. If Adam Larsson can learn not to get turned around on a bobbled puck in the defensive zone, stay alert, stay ready, we'll be fine. Adam Larsson, right? Chris Russell, obviously you have to look at him not to break an ankle. And all this comes back to Mike Smith. This all comes back. If Mike Smith is a goalie looking for that last shot of glory, and I mean, guys, you've seen what happens when a goalie's looking for that last shot of glory and a chance to do something at the end of his career. Dwayne Rollison, 05-06. I mean, that guy should have been at the end of his career at that point, and he played how many more years? But you get where I'm going. It's as simple as that, in the fact that you give a defense a chance to succeed, hopefully via no injuries, and a chance to produce offensive points by getting rid of a couple of guys and bringing in some new guys, right? Obviously, we got rid of Kevin Gravel. We've gotten rid of Andre Sekera. Now you bring in Caleb Jones, Joel Persson, right? There's a chance to get it right. It just has to happen. And that all leads to hopefully an improved defense in front of both Mikko Koskinen and Mike Smith. However, you look at 1 year, $2 million for Mike Smith, you have to hope the defense can at least give him a fighting chance, because Calgary's defense this year was a lot better than the Oilers' defense, and Mike Smith still had an .898 save percentage. That's the scary number, the .898. Guys, if we keep hearing that all season long, it's going to be a heck of a long year. I mean, nothing can be really worse than Cam Talbot was this year. So, do we expect better out of Mike Smith? We can. Do we expect worse? Well, the bar's been set so low, I don't really believe there is a lower spot. It realistically doesn't seem feasible to me that Mike Smith can do worse than Cam Talbot. I know that's setting the bar low, like I said, but it's a $2 million Toby Reeder gamble, and the worst isn't the worst, realistically. It could always be worse when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers. So one thing I will look forward to seeing with the Oilers is kind of how it pushes through in camp. Obviously now, right out of the gate, with Mike Smith as an official 1 year, $2 million Edmonton Oiler, I expect him to get the start in Calgary in the preseason when it comes to that September 28th game. I'm looking forward to that game, and now you got some storylines there for Mike Smith, who should hopefully, with it being the final game of the preseason, see some time, either split it with Koskinen or start it full out. Guys, I'm Tyson, this is Stolany TV. Right now, we need to get into the comments discussion. I'll keep pace as much as I can as we try to roll through all these signings throughout the rest of the day. Let me know who you're looking forward to. Obviously, the next video most likely to be Marcus Granlund. Then there's a couple of other ideas out there. Gustav Nyquist. Who else do we find if we can't get Nyquist? What do you do if you're the Edmonton Oilers for a top 6 forward, third line centerman? We've got limited cap space, maybe about $9 million left. Marcus Granlund will chew the next 1.3, so that'll leave us roughly with 8, and we've got that much to get it done. Guys, I'm Tyson, this is Stolen TV. Bob McKenzie's tweeting stuff that's quoted tweets. I got to get on this. I am up on out of here.